Yes, coach. Yeah, I'm excited for your topics. For your topic, I'm not a very I don't I'm always afraid to of blitzing, so I'm really excited to listen to your talk and your ideas on blitzing on the first down. And without further ado, I'd like to. It would be great if you say some words about yourself, and then we can take a deep dive into blitzing on first down.
Sounds good, Coach. Thank you for having me. Uh, my name is Jericho Silvernail. I am the defensive recruiting coordinator and defensive line coach at Long Beach City College in Long Beach, California. And like Coach said, I'll be talking about the benefits of blitzing on first down, where we're going to make the offense uncomfortable. So a little bit background on me. I've been coaching for 7 years now, 3 of them at the junior college level at Long Beach City. I've been around this incredible game my entire life, and I have the opportunity to learn from a ton of great coaches who I have a tremendous respect for. Um, I've coached from youth to now college. I've coached on both sides of the ball. Um, this is going to be my third year at Long Beach City and my second as the defensive recruiting coordinator. Um, I am currently a member of the American Football Coaches Association. I highly recommend joining if you haven't already or aren't currently a member. I've spoken at a couple clinics here in Southern California, as well as a couple Zoom clinics, and I just love talking to coaches like you guys because I feel like we all can learn something from each other. And any knowledge that I have is because a coach was willing to teach me. My defensive philosophy, like I said, uh, any knowledge I have is because I was taught it and I learned over the years being a part of this great game. My two main influences for how I call defense is my father, who was my youth coach growing up and taught me how to appreciate the game and was my first introduction of how to really coach and how to get the love of your players. My other influence is actually the defensive coordinator I currently serve under, Steve Rudaflores. He is honestly one of the smartest minds I've ever been blessed to be around and has taught me how important film study is in attacking the offense. My entire base of defense is mainly because of those two men. Um, and I say that because in order to understand where I'm coming from with attacking on first down, like Coach said, not everybody's comfortable doing it. Not everybody's comfortable blitzing and giving pressure. I love it. I am more at home doing sending pressure and being attack on the attack. Um, so I have 4 points when it comes to my philosophy. The first point is make the offense uncomfortable. We want to get pressure on first down because it forces offense to be perfect. Our goal is always to tackle for loss or 0 yards gained. There are more plays for second and short and medium than there are for second and long. And we'll go more into that later on in the presentation. But the last point of this is the quarterbacks hate being uncomfortable. So we want to get in their face and make them have happy feet, make them have to think too much. Um, Confidence is key. Take ownership of what happens on the field. You hold players accountable for blown assignments, but take ownership of the big plays when you put them in that position. Now, I don't want that to be confused with always take the blame, but if you put the team in the right position and something bad happens or a big play happens, you take the ownership of it because then when you do that, players actually play confident when that happens, when you know they have the confidence in them. They respond by playing fast and loose, and most importantly, they believe in themselves. Third key is you want to be deceptive. Disguise, disguise, disguise. I don't ever give the offense the correct pre-snap read. I make sure that if I'm in one thing, they don't know what I'm in. So if I'm in three, I'll show man, for instance. I'll show two. I'll go into quarters and then roll into one. I I don't ever show what I'm in. I want the offense to think I'm in one thing, and when they think that, they aren't prepared for what I'm actually in. And most importantly, with this, I want to create chaos. Sun Tzu said, "In the midst of chaos, there is opportunity." And as a defensive coach, when you create chaos, that means turnovers, that means sacks, that means big plays for you. So, and then finally, on my philosophies, we want to play the percentages. People are creatures of habit, especially offensive coordinators. Film study is the absolute key to success. You win in the game during preparation. Game days when it comes together, it is the single most important thing of being a coordinator. And percentages will narrow down what opposing offenses will do on any given down. So now for what you guys wanted to hear, it's the blitzes, benefits of blitzing on first down. So it causes offenses to be uncomfortable at the start of a drive. Traditional thinking for both sides of the ball is to feel each other out and at the start of a drive. When teams sit in their base defense, it gives the opposing offense that opportunity to run or pass with little to no pressure. And I'm all about pressure. Offenses have two choices, and blitzing and bringing pressure gives the higher probability of a play resulting in a loss and giving the offense fewer options for the next down. And when we can narrow down what they will call, it makes our job as defensive coordinators a lot easier. When you know what somebody's going to do, it's easier to stop them. When successful, it causes offenses to be one-dimensional on second down. Yahoo Sports did a great article back in January on NFL teams that typically ran or passed the ball when they typically ran or passed the ball. What they found was that in the 2019 season, teams put in a second and long sits down and distance. So anywhere between 2nd and 8 to 2nd and 20, teams pass the ball at a minimum of 65% of the time. So 65% is obviously over majority of the time. It's over half. So it gives you a better understanding of what they're going to do and gets you in a better situation of what you should call. And it allows when you know what you're doing, it gives your players the ability to have the confidence to be able to pin your ears back and go on pass rush. And it allows your DBs to actually kind of understand what's going on and be able to cause a turnover, break up a pass. The big cliche one is that there are more plays for 2nd and short than 2nd and long. This is for sure the old coaching cliche, but it holds true. Now, whether a team decides to run or pass the ball on 2nd and long, their options are few and far between with what they confidently call. What helps with this is film study and playing the percentages. When you force an offensive coordinator to have fewer options and pair that with watching film and charting what they plan to do, you're almost assured to know what the play will be called, giving you the ability to further stall the offensive drive and getting your offense back on the field. That's the most important thing as a defense is you want to make sure that you're on the field for 3 to 4 plays at most and allow your offense to really take over and score the points and get the ball back for them. Because obviously the more points you score, the more chance you're going to win. So we want to make sure that we give our offense the entire opportunity to do so. Now, how do we put it into practice? The different ways you can bring pressure on first down. One of the main concerns with coaches is that you are limited in what coverage you can do comfortably. Usual calls for coverage usually being 0, 1, and 3. I don't agree with that. And I think, in my opinion, that you aren't limited at all what you can call. You just have to be willing to sacrifice a zone to bring pressure. And just so I can be clear with what my goal is, each cover is called. Here's the reasoning behind each one. In 0, I'm bringing everyone with the exception of 4 of my defensive backs. And I want to absolutely make you nervous. I want you to be thinking about what's happening. I want that quarterback to have to second guess every move he makes because his time is running out. I want it to be like quicksand. 0 is good because it gets the guys juiced up because they have the confidence I give them. And obviously there's huge risk in it. You have nobody behind in the back end. Everybody's manned up. So the likelihood of a big play is there, but the reward is huge between sacks and batted ball, interception, anything like that. 0 is probably one of my favorite things to call to kind of establish dominance on an offense. Cover 1 and 2 high man allows me the coverage over the top, but while still being able to bring 6. With cover 2, 3, and 4, I'm more than willing to sacrifice a zone to bring pressure. Once again, high risk, high reward. And that's the name of the game when it comes to when I call defenses. I want to make sure that I have the best opportunity to make you uncomfortable and to manipulate you in any situation I want. and a way to bring pressure on first down as well is and still be covered on the zones is zone blitzes, which I was actually going to share a couple of my favorite ones right now. So this is my I call this head Trojan. So head over Trojan. What this is, I'll go each position. So the corners and the free safety are actually going to play cover 3. So they're going to have corner is going to have deep third with the free safety going deep third. Your end, I'm sorry, your end is excuse me, wrong. I did it wrong. I'm sorry. This is actually head Trojan, excuse me. So corners are in deep quarters, excuse me. My strong safety, my free safety are going to take the other 2 quarters. My ends are going to drop and wall off number 2 if it's doubles. And then my Mike, my Will, and then my Viking, which is my third safety because I'm a 4-2-5 guy, they're actually going to all go A gap. So the Mike is going to take the weak side of the strong side A. Will take the weak side A with the Viking following, giving a double gap pressure. And then the 2 tackles are actually going to push to outside through the B gap and get contained. So this is a very high risk, high reward zone blitz because you're really bringing 5, but it's such a huge middle hole that slants could really kill it. But we're going to take the risk and go after the quarterback on first down with this. And then my second zone blitz will be over shark. So what this is where the corners are actually going to go deep thirds. My strong safety on the left here is going to actually come off the edge. My end is going to go slant hard into the A gap. My tackle is going to go cross face to the other A gap. The nose is going to actually work his way around to get outside contained in the C to replace the end, who's dropping into coverage in the curl flat. Now with the end dropping, if it's trips to that side, he's going to read 3-2. If it's doubles, he's going to read 2-3, which if the back is on that side. If the back releases on a flare and he's the only one on that side, then he obviously reads the end, or he obviously reads the back. Mike will go middle hole. The free safety is going to screen down into that curl flat, and then the Mike will go through the B gap. I like this one from the field just because it gives that quarterback and it causes him to have to bail out to his left, our right, and it chases him into that nose. So it's a great zone defense to call on first down just because it covers all your bases.
Coach, can I ask you a question about the last blitz?
Sure. What's up?
That's like the NCAA blitz, right?
I'm not sure what you mean.
What?
I'm not sure what you mean by NCAA blitz.
It's like he's long sticking into the A gap, right? And he's slipping behind him. He's the outside rusher. It's the America's blitz, NCAA blitz. It's like that's what I've read about this. So.
I'm not sure. I haven't heard that.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I think that's the blitz. It's like America's blitz because it was so famous in the last years on at the collegiate level. And my question is about the Mike linebacker. What key do you give him when you long stick in the end and the tackle is stepping down because he's supposed to rush into the B gap, right?
Mm-hmm. So he's going to be lined up at with his heels at 6, at 6 yards. So what that's going to do is we're actually going to have the Will be walked up on the line to cause the guard on his side to look at him.
Mm-hmm.
But what the end's going to do on the Mike side is he's flying. There's no step forward. He is just crashing into that A. And the moment that end crosses that Mike's face, he's going to the B gap.
Okay.
So right as he crosses his face, he should be coming right off his butt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got you. We're running the same blitz, but what are you teaching your Mike when you see, for example, a zone away from the pressure when the tackle is stepping down and closing the gap.
So that the great thing about this blitz is that it's kind of a pick your poison for that. So if the tackle steps down into the mic, we have the strong safety coming off the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, the mic will become a block destructor.
Okay.
So we want him to take on that block, obviously try to work through,
Mm-hmm.
but especially on first down, because the entire line is basically slanting, he's basically got the cut back on that side.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got you.
So I don't know. Yeah, that's a great question. Um, anything else?
No, it's only we see that when we're stepping when the tackle is stepping down, the mic is going to the C gap and rushing all around us, and we have two guys in C gap, no one in the B gap, and that's what my question
Oh,
was,
okay. I see what you're
if you
saying.
see the same problems.
So if we don't want our guys to be robots either, so if that end's coming across, usually that tackle will probably carry him
Mm-hmm.
in that zone step. So if that end basically gets collapsed down because of that tackle, we can always have the mic go right off of the end's butt to where it's going to force that tackle to make a decision. Does he stay with the end, which is inside man, or does he go with the mic who's coming in free?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So at that point, everything just kind of shifts over. So with the mic doing that, and then the strong safety coming off, it covers cutback, and then you just create a giant pile
Mm-hmm.
between EMT.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
So
Yeah, we have another question in the chat box.
okay,
Coach is asking, do you teach the safety to crash behind the line when the tackle is down blocking or squeeze to defend the read option?
we're gonna attack the mesh. So if that strong safety's coming down hard, he's gonna see if it's zone away from him. He is gonna kind of squeeze, but attack the mesh at the same time. I don't want that quarterback to have a decision.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it also goes week by week too, because if I'm going against a quarterback who can run, I don't want to necessarily give him that edge. So we might hold off on that on screaming in. We might squeeze a little bit. But if I know that quarterback um, can't run, and if he's just got cement for shoes, I'm attacking the mesh and I'm making him pull that. So it's week to week.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that were all the questions we have at the moment.
Cool. Okay. I'm we're almost there. So the warning disclaimer with this, guys, is the big disclaimer with bringing pressure the way I like to. It's not for everybody. Um, the reward for bringing this kind of pressure on first down is extremely high. So you get the tackle for loss, you create second and long, so anywhere between second and 9 to second and 15 if you're lucky. But it causes offensive coordinators to panic and takes them out of the rhythm and game plan. Most aren't very comfortable with second and long, like I said earlier. Some are though, but most aren't. Uh, one thing you have to remember is if you decide to be this aggressive, is that big plays will happen. It's inevitable. You'll give up something. Um, it's a part of the game, but how you respond to it is what's going to separate you from being an okay coordinator to a great one. If your team sees you and your staff on the sideline flipping out over a big play and freaking out and scrambling around, it's going to be possibly a huge mental blow for them. They're going to lose their confidence. But if they see you calm and collected, just understanding it's a part of the game, then they're confident in themselves and they know that they can just keep moving, have a short-term memory, and keep moving on and go on to the next play. The biggest benefit of blitzing on the first down is the mental game that it plays with the opposing team. Like John Madden said, football is 90% mental, 10% physical. So if you win the psychological game, you'll be in pretty good shape to win the physical one too. And finally, guys, you can contact me. I appreciate the opportunity today to speak to you guys. I want to thank Coach Scholl for having me. If you guys need anything, I will help in any way I possibly can. You can email me at jrsilvernail@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter at Coach Silvernail. I'm very active on Twitter. I'm sure Coach can attest to that. Um, but I'm always down to talk ball. Just shoot me a text, shoot me an email. Any questions you have, anything I can give you guys to help you. I am 100% for helping other coaches because that's how I got to where I am today. Is coaches helping me and taking the time and talking to me. So once again, I appreciate it, guys. Um, anything I can do for you guys, let me know. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, coach. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you like to, I have another question.
Okay, give
If
me
that's
1 second.
okay
Let
for
me get to
you.
the menu real quick.
When we talk about pressuring, what is your favorite pressure you use in the goal line for in the last, for example, last 12 yards of the field? How do you uh, how do you try to pressure the quarterback and the offense in that region of the field?
So if I'm in that situation, I'm going cover zero. I'm going press. I'm taking away the inside. So just start from back end first. I'm gonna have my corners play inside leverage. So if they have two split out, I'm gonna play inside leverage to take away the slant. But I'm sending everybody,
Hmm.
whether it's probably have my two tackles pinch the A gap, my backers go B, and just basically fill everything.
Hmm.
Um, it's what we plug it basically. We would call plug if we did that. But no,
Okay.
I'll go man and go zero, and because at that point, if you're within that area, you're either gonna run the ball and try to get a couple yards, or you're gonna throw the fade or the
Hmm.
slant. So I'm gonna take away both of those from you.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. And when we talk about linebacker play, how do you teach your linebackers how to blitz effectively? I think we have some problems sometimes to teach our linebackers the timing of the blitz and how to move their shoulders, move their body through the gaps. Maybe you have some tips from your experience how to coach blitzing of the linebackers effectively.
So when I coach linebackers, I want them to, if they're blitzing, if they know they're blitzing, I first and foremost, I don't want them to be a robot. Um, if they're supposed to go in the A gap, I want them to work leverage to the A gap. So understand that the line is going to move. The A gap doesn't work. It doesn't start or doesn't finish where it starts.
Hmm.
Um, but if I'm calling them on a blitz, they're if they're coming from 6 yards back, I want them screaming. I want them going no holds bar, running through the gap with their eyes in the backfield.
Hmm.
So it's more so just kind of getting because most guys have that fear of making the wrong decision. I want to make sure that they know, like, hey, if I call that play and you go in as hard and balls to the wall as you can, you're
Hmm.
probably going to be right 90% of the time.
Yeah, coach. And do you have some tips for young linebackers how to time their blitz and what keys can the offense give them?
Watch film.
Hmm.
I think the more film you watch, the better player you're going to become.
Yeah.
Um, because, like I said in the presentation, is that offenses will tell you what they're going to do.
Hmm.
Um, there's only two blocks in an offensive lineman, or three blocks technically an offensive lineman can do, right? He can either down block and run block. He can either give you high hat and pass protect, or he's going to pull.
Hmm.
So the quicker you learn to understand those three and identify those keys, the
Hmm.
more successful you're going to be.
Okay. Yeah, I got you, coach.
So
So,
lots of film study.
yeah, that's good. And so we always tell our kids to look at the quarterback, look at his eyes when he's in gun, the eyes are moving to the ball, and it's time to start the blitz and going to attack the gaps. That was
Well,
something.
every quarterback too, coach, they have a little tell. Like in poker,
Mm,
you have a tell.
yeah.
They have a tell. So like some quarterbacks before they snap the ball, they put their hand down
Mm,
and it's 1, 2, and they snap the ball. Or
yeah.
they'll lick their fingers, or they'll clap, or they'll do anything like that.
Mm,
When your linebackers watch that, they start to understand that, they'll be able
mm.
to actually understand the timing better. So they can actually basically jump the snap.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great key. That's great. Yeah, coach. That was That are some struggles we have on blitzing. Do any one of the other coaches have any questions?
There's one. There's one that says, "What's your philosophy on blitzing offenses that pull a lot?" Right? Am I reading that right?
Yeah, that was.
So what I suggest with that, so that comes with watching film. It kind of goes with the last point, is that you know what they're going to do. Some offensive linemen, like even at the junior college level, they're going to tell you when they're pulling. They'll either be depth um, on their stance. So like I know one of the teams we played last year, their guards were always toes on the heel of the center whenever they pulled. So watching that and just kind of understanding what they're trying to do and trying to give themselves the advantage. If I know they're blitzing or if I know they're pulling, I want to blitz in that opening.
Mm-hmm.
I want my athletic guys, my linebackers, I want them screaming through that hole, because if they can time that right, and as that guard leaves, he's in the backfield already. So I it's hard for me to say my philosophy on blitzing offenses that pull a lot, because I'll blitz no matter what. I don't care. It'll be running the ball, passing the ball. I really don't care what kind of offense you're in. I'm going to blitz just because I want to put pressure on you. I want to make you uncomfortable. But with specifically pulling, it's learning that timing of and watching the film of when they pull, basically having your hand in that hip, that backer hand in the hip
Mm-hmm.
of the guard, and then let the linebacker follow the pull or attack the mesh. I want to attack the mesh every time, because if you follow the pull, quarterback can keep it, because I don't know if you guys see a lot of counter read,
Yeah, we
but
see that some weird stuff.
so counter read, if that linebacker follows the pull, he essentially takes himself out of the play and blocks himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I want him attacking the mesh point, just so that either the quarterback's going to just try to get rid of the ball, or he's going to panic and try to make a move and get out of there. So I want him attacking the mesh point, not follow the pull.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good, coach. Yeah, a lot of nuggets in your talk.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to make it worth it for you guys this late at night for you.
Yeah, coaches, any other questions we have? Some problems we see a lot.
I'm open. I'm all yours.
For example, when you're rushing, when you teach your linebackers to blitz, and what is your favorite pass rush move against running backs? We always struggle to get rid of the running back. We are able to beat the offensive line by speed and by dipping our shoulder, but we have problems with the running backs. Do you have some keys or tips for that topic?
For the defensive line, or for linebackers going
For
against running
linebackers.
backs?
For linebackers.
That's true. Are they allowed to cut?
Yeah, we are allowed to cut. We play like with the NCAA rules, the same rules
Okay.
we have.
So that's tough, because if he goes low on you, then there's nothing much you can really do.
Yeah.
It's just more so teaching how to defeat the cut block.
Mhm.
So one drill we do is we'll have guys run up with those step over bags, and we'll actually have them. We'll throw the bag at them at their feet, like push the bag at their feet, and have them put their hands down on the bag and
Mhm.
throw their feet out, and then pop back up to defeat the cut. So it's just kind of working that up down motion to defeat the cut. Now, pass rush wise, if a running back's trying to go head up on you, I would push pull probably would be my favorite, because if you're coming from depth and he's waiting for you, he's going to dig his heels in a little bit to try to
Mhm.
block you. So I think that initial bull rush and then pull
Mhm.
and flip your hips around, I think that's probably the best pass rush move I can think of for a linebacker to do against a running back,
Mhm.
just because it uses his momentum against him.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. We we struggle a little bit how to read the cut block, the difference between cut and the normal pass block by the running back. That's a little bit difficult for our linebackers. We're working with 16 to 19 years old, and sometimes we have new kids who are new to the sport and only start a few weeks ago, and then see a block like that. It's hard for them.
Oh no, and it's hard to read because like it's. I hate to sound like a broken record, but it is all on. It's film. It's film study. It's if say you're watching a team and number 25 loves to cut, but number 3
Mm-hmm.
will will take the block. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things like, hey, be prepared for a cut when he's in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um, it's you can solve a lot of problems with watching film.
yeah. Of course, we try to watch a lot with our guys, and we watch a lot about over Zoom with our guys, and so we try
Yeah.
to implement that.
The one thing though is that it's a fine line because you can watch too much film.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, you can watch so much film that you're over analyzing everything,
Yeah, that's hard.
but but it's hard to find that equal balance. But once you find that equal balance of how much or what to look for, um, it's a it's a great feeling when you can call out a play before the offense runs it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, any other topic of blitzing? I don't think I'm checking the chat box. We don't have any other questions at the moment. Anything any coach
Any
wants to
line
know?
stuff? Anybody have any questions on defensive line?
Maybe for defensive line, where are you standing in team periods to coach the defensive line? When you have
Behind the
team
offensive.
periods, 11 on 11, you're standing behind the offensive line to see their
Yeah,
eyes.
I want to see because I'm fortunate enough to work with um, another defensive line coach who's phenomenal.
Hmm.
What he does, and we'll split the line in half. So
Okay.
I'll watch one side, he'll watch the other,
Hmm.
um, and we'll watch for get off, hand placement, block shedding, if they do the right assignment. Um, but I like watching. I personally we like watching it from behind,
Hmm.
just because we can see the play work out. Um, but yeah, during team period, inside run, behind the line, just because you can see more of what's going on and be a
Hmm.
little bit more detailed
Okay. Behind the defensive line, right?
on
On
the
the
offensive line.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see their eyes, right?
Yeah, I want to see
See
their
their
eyes. I want
eyes
to
and
see how they
hands.
pop, press, and extend. I
Hmm.
want to see. I want to see how they're getting in their gaps. I want to see if they're doing the correct movement
Hmm.
on the play.
Okay.
Because if you stand behind the defense, you're getting your vision blocked by the
Yeah.
safeties, the linebackers.
Yeah, that's right. So we try that we do that too. We have two defensive linemen and we locate them on the right and the left side of behind the offensive line, 10 yards behind the offense, so they can see with an angle the defensive line on their side.
Oh,
Um,
okay, right, okay, that's probably the best way to do it.
from a defensive line standpoint, you talked about the long stick on the second pressure you presented,
Uh-huh.
the end going from the five technique into the A gap. How do you teach him that technique?
Well, we're gonna teach them how to. They're basically trying to explain it without doing it. Um, we're gonna take that hard right step,
Mm-hmm.
so our upfield. So our we want our inside hand down just for when we're in stances.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is once we get out of that stance, we're taking a hard like 45-degree angle step towards the A gap for the
Mm-hmm.
long stick, and we're dipping our shoulder, but not to a point where we're just gonna get thrown. So we're gonna dip our shoulder down to that A gap because with so much stuff going on behind us, it's going to move so quick that that long stick is going to happen, and you're either going to get blocked or you're going to get through. So it's more so of a distraction for everything else going on.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to attack it. We want to go have our eyes up, but make sure that we're leaning and getting a good lean going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's like we coach it. And where do you want the defensive lineman has his eyes on the long stick, where he's looking, what he's keying?
I want his eyes on the ear hole of the center.
Mm-hmm.
I want it on the ear hole of the center so that he sees where he's going. Um, because that's his job. You know what I mean? Like I want him to focus on his job and making sure he's accomplishing what is going to help everybody else. So if he's slanting down to that A gap, I want him focused on that going, but at the same time able to dip his shoulder to where if he needs to turn upfield, he can turn
Mm-hmm.
upfield and see.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's great. Um, hmm, I'm sure I'm searching for some problems we have over the last weeks. Um, when you see zone, do you have your defensive end crash the mesh point, or playing outside contain or the outside tip of the quarterback?
So if it's the end on zone away, so if it's the left end and the tackle stepping away from him,
Mhm.
so I want him hand on the V of the neck of that tackle,
Okay.
squeezing that line with his shoulders parallel to the
Mhm.
scrimmage.
Okay. Yeah, like it's just like a serve technique or
Yeah, the surfboard
block
technique.
down, step down. Okay. And yeah, okay. So that's like what we do over here.
Hmm.
That makes us brings us some problems. And what is your opinion on the look? Do you use a one technique?
I love the one technique.
Okay. Do you play either one technique or two eye? What's your favorite?
So at Long Beach, we vary. We have different fronts. So we'll go, our base is a 2-eye.
Hmm.
Um, Personally, I love the one technique because I played center when I was growing up. Um, and I hated having a guy right there on me.
Hmm.
So if I can make the guy who has control of the entire play uncomfortable, I want somebody over him.
Hmm.
So that one technique, I want him just to bully that center all game. Just get hands on him. So one
Hmm.
technique for sure.
Okay. So you're going with the one technique, but we're moving. I think 3 weeks ago to more of a two eye technique because we have problems with guards going up to the second level and blocking our linebackers. And we have a pretty good defensive lineman. We have two defensive linemen who are already got offers from D1 schools, but we try to protect a little bit our linebackers because they need some help, and that's a reason why we move the one technique to a two eye to keep the guard a little bit more covered because we found out that the center isn't going that fast to the second level. Is that something that you discovered too?
Yeah, it I get where you guys are having that problem because with having that one that is with everything there's always a downside. There's an upside and a downside. And
Mm,
having that one you are gonna free up that guard to get up to your backer. So if you don't have a backer who is either laterally quick or has great play recognition, it's better to get that guy get your nose on a guard so that you can um, disrupt that and kind of take that double team to
mm,
free up your backers. Because like my philosophy is that the defensive line are there to cause um, to free up the backers. I
mm,
mean, so everybody has their own job, and then on like passing downs, that's when the defensive line gets to kind of have fun and pass rush. But from any rundown, defensive line's responsibility is to free up linebackers. So I get where you guys are having problems with that, and I don't blame you for going to a 2-eye,
mm.
especially if you have D1 guys.
Yeah, we have two. One is offered by UMass, and the other is offered by Ole Miss.
Oh, nice,
So they're pretty good.
a little bit.
Yeah, they are both over 2 meters high, quick guys. Yeah. they're good. We have a great defensive line for our level we're playing at.
Oh, nice. Let him eat. That's great. That's a huge having a great defensive line is
Yeah, that's right.
one of the
Just
most
makes
underrated things in the world because it allows you to do so many different things in the back end.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, that's right. We always we can rely on the defensive line because we can put pressure with four defensive linemen and drop seven into coverage because we have these guys and yeah they're good kids for us.
that's not good kids for anybody when you got two D1 guys like that.
Yeah,
But
you're right. Absolutely.
that's
Yes.
that's definitely an easy thing to do when you can just line stunt. That's how you're going to get pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So we try to do our best to move them around and have some pressures. But I think it's some of your. I think it's the benefit is there to blitz more on first down. I'm always afraid to do that because I'm afraid to go cover zero or cover man, do some man stuff. But it saved us a game last year to go to man. We always play zone coverage and drop seven, drop eight. Don't do anything risky, and we got burned in one game in one halftime, and then we change a lot and blitz more, and that helped us to win that game. It was a
Oh yeah,
semi-final game last year.
I I get it. It's with man coverage. The reason I like it is because especially if you guys have those dudes at D line,
Mm,
it disrupts timing.
yeah.
So if you're or even if you're just getting slight hands on them,
Mm,
it'll throw that quarterback's timing off, and it'll give your defensive line that much more time to get to the
mm,
quarterback. Um, I do like um, robber. I do like having a safety come down and
mm.
rob in the middle, having over the top.
Okay.
Um, but no, it's man going zero is a little bit scary. I get it.
Yeah, that's
Um,
right. It's a high risk.
but but cover one is a good alternative to that too.
Mm, yeah, that's right. But we have one more question from one coach. He's asking, what do you think about sim pressures? Are you using sim pressures?
I do not know
Related
enough about
pressures.
basically rushing forward, but creating one-on-one matchups through disguise and stunts and being able to play base. Oh, well, yeah. I guess I do it without knowing what I'm doing. Yeah, no, I can do it through since I disguise. I like to disguise every down. Um, like I probably blitz about 85% of the time. So
Mm,
um, I love running zone blitzes like that. Like Shark, the one I showed you guys. I love bringing ends and dropping them, especially if I have guys to do it. But yeah, I'll show. I'll walk up both my backers and then drop them into cover three. You know what I
mm,
mean? Like in stunts underneath to kind of keep the quarterback's eyes on those two backers, and um, I'll show four, but go man. Like I guess my entire defensive philosophy is based on uh, stim pressures
mm.
with pressure. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great combine. I think you can't simulate pressures if you don't blitz. So you need to rush sometimes six or five to simulate it. So you can't
yeah,
can't do only one thing and not doing the other.
100%.
Yeah. So um yeah, we don't have any other questions in the chat. But we
Okay.
but we all have your contact information, and I can absolutely tell everyone just to reach out. You're answering every question, and that you're a great help. So I'd like to thank you very much for you taking the time and talking some ball with us, discuss some things, and I think we all I'm absolutely try to blitz more and do a little bit do a little bit more of risk into the blitz game, and I think we I think we can get some real awards out of it. So thank you very much,
Appreciate it.
Coach.
I appreciate being on here. Anytime you guys want to talk ball, just shoot me a message on Twitter, email me. I will even if you want to see my playbook, I'll give you my playbook. I got nothing to hide.
Yeah, cool.
uh,
That's
but
great.
any stunts, coverages, blitzes I can give you, I'll give you.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, thank you very much, Coach.
so just let me know. And if you guys are ever in Southern California,
Mhm. Yeah, we'll
if you
call
guys
you.
are ever in Southern California, look me up and we'll talk
Mhm.
ball.
Yeah, that's great, Coach. Thank you very much, and I wish you for today a nice day, and we stay in contact. Goodbye, Coach.
Have a good night, guys.